Hello friends, in this video we will be learning a very important concept, that is structure of memory. So I'll tell you how memory really looks like internally and how to identify size of memory and everything about the memory. Let us begin. So let's start with a basic structure of memory. So structure of the memory looks like the structure of building. Like the building has number of floors, so likewise now here also we have number of floors. So let us name every floor, or let us number every floor as 0, 1, 2, 3. Now these numbers are what we called as locations, or they are called as memory locations. So I'm going to use hexadecimal number system, so I'll name them as 0 hex, 1 hex, 2 hex, 3 hex. With the help of these numbers, I'm going to identify the exact floor of the building I'm talking about, or exact memory location number I'm talking about. So 0 hex, 1 hex and 2 hex as well as 3 hex are what we call as addresses. Okay, they are called as addresses. So if we say it's a building and every building have got number of floors, every floor will have number of rooms inside it. So every floor is having number of rooms inside it. Now within every room there is a space of, let's say, 1 bit, where 1 bit can be logic 1 or logic 0. So overall speaking, if you see the size of this floor or size of this memory location, it is always 8 bit, and we know that 8 bit stands for 1 byte. So overall speaking, these rooms are present in every location, even though I am not drawing for every location here. So overall speaking, we can say, since there are 4 locations, the size of each location to be 1 byte or 8 bit, so total size can be taken as 4 byte. This is the size of memory. So there is a golden rule that you need to remember, that one memory location is nothing but 1 byte in size. Is always equal to, either you can say 8 bit in size, and 8 bit is nothing but 1 byte. So this is something that you need to remember to understand memory and when you are working with the memory. So memory can be defined as number of locations. Every location have got unique address. Of course, floor numbers are unique in case of building. So here, whatever numbers I have given are never going to repeat. Every location will have unique number, and those unique numbers are called as respective addresses for every memory location. Every location size is 8 bit, so you can fit 8 bit data inside that, right? So what is exactly meant by 8 bit? Let us understand this. In fact, we are going to deal with hexadecimal numbers, because microprocessor understands hexadecimal number very well, or whenever it is dealing with this machine level language, that is in terms of zeros and ones, so we cannot interpret what is zeros and ones, so we interpret them in terms of hexadecimal numbers. So it is very essential to understand what is meant by 8 bit hexadecimal number. For example, suppose I have data as 45 hex, where H indicates it is hexadecimal number, and let's say if I want to represent it in terms of binary, I'm sure you must have seen initial lectures where we have learned this number system, so we know very well how to convert this into binary. For example, if I write 8421 below this and 8421 below this, so 4 can be written as 0 1 0 0, and 5 can be written as 4 plus 1 and 0 0. So if you count this, you will understand it is 8 bit. What does that mean? 8 bit number means hexadecimal number having 2 digits, right? That is 4 and 5 are 2 digits. So every hexadecimal number having 2 digit is recognized as 8 bit hexadecimal number. I'm sure you understood this, because every hexadecimal digit gives you 4 binary bits. Of course, 2 digit will give you 8 bit. For example, if I'm saying it is AF hex, this is also considered as 8 bit, because A is interpreted as 10 and f is interpreted as 15 in decimal. So to get 10 value, I'll write 1 below 8 and 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10, represents A. And if I add all of them, then only it is possible to get 15. So 15 in hexadecimal indicated as F. So if you count number of bits here, you'll again get 8 bit. So now it is proved that every hexadecimal number having 2 digit is what we call as 8-bit hexadecimal number. In a way, now I can say that 00 hex is the minimum data possible, which can be interpreted in binaries as all zeros if you use 8421 method, and FF hex can be considered as maximum 8-bit data, which in turn binary can be represented as with all ones. Am I right? So remember, when it comes to 8-bit hexadecimal number, the minimum number that can be stored is 00 hex and the maximum number that you can write is FF hex. I'm saying in terms of storing because as we have already seen in terms of memory, 8-bit is 1 byte, that is nothing but one location of the memory is equal to 8-bit. So every location can have maximum 2 hexadecimal digit number inside it, right? So just to give you an idea, every location can store how many digits of hexadecimal. It is now quite uncertain that only 2 digits of hexadecimal number can be stored in every location, right? So this is what we called as 8-bit hexadecimal number. Now let's talk about memory. So discussion will not be completed until and unless we talk about units of the memory. It's a very important topic. So what is meant by units of memory? It starts with the minimum size, that is 4-bit. 4-bit is known as 1 nibble. Second, 8-bit. 8-bit is what we called as 2 nibble, right? But instead of saying 2 nibble, we have got a standard word to represent 8-bit, that is 1 byte. Next, suppose you have 16-bit data. Then it is considered as either 2 byte or 4 nibble, but instead of that we have one word. Remember, one word stands for 16-bit. Fourth, suppose you have 32-bit, then 32-bit data is known as one double word. Of course, if one word is 16-bit, double word has to be 32-bit. Next, if you have 64-bit, it is considered as one chord word. I'm sure you know the meaning of chord. Chord means 4. So if one word is 16-bit, 4 words, that is 16 4s are 64. 64-bit indicates one chord word. Next is 2 raised to 10 byte. Now this is very important. 2 raised to 10 byte. Let's talk it in terms of memory. Tell me. In memory, one location size is 1 byte. So can I say that 2 raised to 10 byte memory means 2 raised to 10 locations, that is 1024 locations. Now you can imagine a building having 1024 floors because one floor is nothing but 1 byte. So 2 raised to 10 byte, such building or such memory is what we called as 1 kilobyte. I'm sure now you must have recognized what is meant by 1 KB. Whenever you say 1 KB, it means it is occupying 1024 locations of the memory, right? So the whole unit of 1024 locations in the memory, where every location is 1 byte in size, such memory is what we called as 1 kilobyte, right? So we can now go on expanding these units of the memory. Suppose it is 2 to the power 20 byte. So as you can see now, the size of the memory will keep on expanding itself in power of tens. 2 raised to 20 byte is known as 1 MB, that is 1 megabyte. So this is called as 1 megabyte MB. Whereas if you see 2 raised to 30 byte, then this is called as 1 GB, that stands for gigabyte. 2 raised to 40 byte is what we called as 1 terabyte. So nowadays you are using 1 terabyte hard disk. That 1 terabyte hard disk consisting of 2 raised to 40 byte. Now you can imagine a memory having 2 raised to 40 locations inside the unit. So these units can be expanded further as petabyte, exabyte, zettabyte, yottabyte, brontobyte, etc. So again, it is needless to discuss, because when it comes to GATE examination syllabus, you will not be going beyond this kilobyte. So our discussion will be limited to kilobyte size only. So I'm sure you must have understood these units of the memory. You need to remember this. This is quite required when we are talking about size of the memory or interfacing a particular memory with the microprocessor and calculating address lines and everything. What I'm actually talking about would be quite clear in the next video. Thank you.